Hi, we're colouring stone today. Nice, quick and easy. Start off with an unlit, clear, clean candle. I've already put marks here, but press hard marks all over. This is creating a resist to your alcohol markers. And then taking a light grey, one of your lightest greys, you want to go across and hopefully you can see how it is resisting. Now you don't need to be too precise. If you miss a patch, it's okay, because literally it's adding to the texture. So we're going to just colour this. I've done a gravestone shape. You can do different shapes of stones. And I'm going to colour this all over. Okay, when you do your wax marks, try not to do like circles. Try to, you know, lift it up, do a mark this direction, that direction, drag some and press lighter in place and hard, and then you'll end up with the grainy effect. I've just done some scratchy marks on here. Obviously it's a bit of a mystery what it's going to look like afterwards because the marks are invisible. And then what you want to do is take a colour, the next colour up, and add some of that going in, not fully right into the shape, do it in patches. And just, you know, build up a bit of interest. If you work fast, while the inks, these are alcohol markers, while the inks are wet, they're going to blur together somewhat, without having harsh lines. You can always go over them again if you want to blend them better. Go over with the lighter colour, which I'll do in a second. And you can go as light or as dark as you wish. Just blending some of this in. You can also, if you wanted to, add in a bit of a different colour or do the whole thing in different colours. There's a little bit of blue going in there. Let's throw in a bit of pink, bit of excitement and variation as if there's some sort of light source on it. Can you see the wax doing its thing? And yeah, make the edges darker. When it's dried, if you want to, go over with the same mid shade afterwards to make it darker, or another colour. And then what you want to do is keep the light, well, that's the way I've seen my light coming down from the top, so the top bits are going to be lighter, coming down to darker on the sides. And I'd make these even darker where less light is hitting, and I'd blend that in a little. I'm not putting my lids on to make this video fast because the videos I've been doing seem to take for ages to upload, so I'm trying to do this fast for you so it doesn't take like 24 hours to upload. I don't know what I do wrong. But anyway, I've got loads of tutorials up and hopefully you find them fun and helpful. So where am I? So yeah, hopefully you get the idea of that. And then after this, I'll put my lids on in a second. I'm not going to let my pens dry out, don't worry. After this, you want to go in and add some cracks. Now you need some sort of pen that will go over the top of alcohol markers and sit on top of wax. I'm using a acrylic paint pen. I did in previous ones use a simple biro, which worked okay, but you just need to experiment and see what works best for you. So you get the idea, and obviously that's going to dry. You know, I'd add a bit more shading around the outside, darken the outside of the stone. I can go a bit more crazy with a bit more blue and pink if I wanted. You know, add a bit of a shadow. I'm just using a pencil here for extreme quickness, but pencils work fine. I still love coloured pencils, even though I've been working with marker pens in my books lately. This is from my book Colorist Special Effects, but this one is called Dark Twist. So if you're into Halloween, not just Halloween, but bit of spooky, bit of creepy things on your book, the guide is inside here, which I am showing you and following you, explaining to you. So if you want to see it in written form, it is here in this book. Okay, so I'm going to show you finished examples. So here is the finished ones from the book. If you're doing this in colouring books, sometimes they have thicker lines, so that just shows you the technique. If it's got thicker lines compared to thinner lines, I think that looks more realistic, but that's bold, they're still good. And then of course you can add, you know, a bit of colour like I've said, or go crazy with colour. This one's not finished, but hopefully you get the idea. Quick, easy technique. Enjoy.